Sitting again with Kelowna Mayor Tom Dyas for our monthly sit-down. Tom, thanks for this, as always.
Great to see you, Wayne.
The economy. Some good and some bad over the last week and a half. We heard about the influx from the Briar and what could be down the road over the next 12 to 14 months. We also saw the unemployment rate jump to a level we haven't seen in Kelowna in quite some time, 7% unemployment. Let's start there. The city can, what can a city do to prop up employment numbers?
And with the employment the way it sits right now at 7%, and on a provincial level sits at 6.2%. We are aware of how it currently and how it would affect our economy, and I think what you're seeing is some of the initiatives that council wants to look at taking in order to address that 7%. We've recently, just this week, seen a report come out with regards to the economic impact of the Briar. It was communicated with respect to the number of additional events that we are working with and bringing to this community over the next year. It was estimated that economic impact on those 4 events that we're bringing to the community could be in excess of $50 million. We, as a council, just established an economic prosperity task force. That task force will be commissioned with looking at the community and seeing where there is opportunities, not only in events, but in other type of employment considerations, using potentially some of the lands that we have available to entice industry, to entice different types of operations to consider advancing their business within this community. So there are limited tools that we have available as a municipal government, but whatever we do have available in trying to activate the community in one way or another, we are reviewing that and seeing if that is something that is possible. There is a lot of good news there. We had about $1.2 billion in tourism that came with, through our community in 2024. Mm-hmm. We still are one of the fastest growing communities in Canada, and potentially some of that unemployment is because of the number of individuals that our growth rate within the community is greater than what the average is across the country. So some of that are new individuals who are coming to this community and planning their future, and potentially may not just have a full-time position yet. So it's a combination of items that we're aware of, and looking at addressing them with the opportunities that we have available within the tools that we can use.
Events are great. Obviously they're great for morale. They're great for the pocketbooks of businesses, etc. But as an event, they're not sustainable. They're one and done. They're quick hits kind of thing. So obviously it's the attraction of the businesses, the attraction of industry that has to be top of the list.
It is. Events do allow for specific industries to flourish. Obviously, tourism with regards to restaurants, also with respect to individuals helping set up those events. So there's a lot of behind-the-scenes work to look at putting them in place. But it is correct. If we're looking at something for the economy on a long-term basis, how do we bring industry here? And industry looks at this place for long-term type of permanent employment. And one of the things that has happened before is Kelowna has positioned itself on a map and said, here we are, come visit us and see whether you would like something set up.
We're open for business.
Yeah. Now we've changed that a little bit. We're going after the business. So part of this task force will also be to recognize, is there industry that is considering relocating? Is there industry that's considering expanding? And if there are, let's give them a call and let's let them know what we have available here. It is a great place for individuals to come and live. There is 4-season opportunities within this community. So from an employer looking at hiring employees, there's a lot of positives there. It comes in retrospects to everything else that we have to do around with regards to housing and transportation and building all of those, all of those different variables that come into play. But we want to have those discussions. We want to be there to have those discussions so that they don't skip by us potentially because they're not aware of the fact that we are interested.
If you go back a number of years, the larger employees, the Hiram Walker, Western Star, Tolko, all have left for various reasons. Are those the types of businesses you're looking for, those larger businesses, or are we talking about smaller businesses, more tech-savvy perhaps? Or
Well, I think when we look at the makeup of the community, I know within this community, if we were to, reach out to someone like the Chamber of Commerce or anybody who tracks businesses, I know that we have about 7,000 small businesses within, this particular area. And there's a number of large ones. When we have Flightcraft, when we have, the college or UBC, when we have Okanagan College, when we have Interior Health, there's a couple of major employers that are. So I believe what we would like to see is a diversification of both. But the avenue that we have available for a lot of employers is 2 major educational outlets here that are training individuals in many different fields. So if there's an opportunity of bringing manufacturing, and it is clean tech type of manufacturing that we can bring here, if we can look at expanding some of our industrial opportunities in our lands, that's why we were looking at being in Ottawa just a short while ago, asking for additional federal capital to assist with expanding the infrastructure, so the east side of the airport, because there is economic land available there. The Commonwealth area that we want to look at expanding there's economic land available there, not only for us, but also for Penticton Indian Band. So being aware of those items and bringing those discussions available to individuals, if they need a substantial footprint, what can we provide to them for that growth?
is it safe to say that the area around the airport, around UBCO, around Commonwealth, is where a lot of this type of growth is going to take place?
Going back to what you had stated, it depends upon the size of the operation.
Right.
If it was an operation that we're looking at bringing into the community, and it was a portion of another operation and potentially had 30 or 40 or 50 staff, it allows for a little bit more flexibility depending upon what those staff are doing. If we're looking at trying to say, well, we'd like another operation here which has 500 to 1,500 staff, then yes, we're looking at something that has a much larger footprint and it needs that size of industrial land.